Due to me having had an ectopic pregnancy in the past, every single time that I have become pregnant, that is my first fear. I immediately want to know, is the baby in the right place? If you don't know what an ectopic pregnancy is when the baby attaches somewhere that is not in your uterus, so it can't survive, and they either have to give you medicine or they have to operate you and take it out. Well, I had found out I was pregnant and I freaked out. The first thing that I did was go to the hospital, to the ER, tell them what was going on, and said, please check and make sure that the baby is where the baby's supposed to be, because this is another ectopic pregnancy. I don't want to go through the same traumatic experience that I went the other time that I had an ectopic pregnancy, and I don't want anything to rupture this time again, because I almost died the time that I had an ectopic pregnancy. To avoid that, I like to get that cleared as soon as possible. I had gone to the hospital by myself because my husband had to stay with the rest of my kids. So they run tests, they check the levels of my pregnancy hormones, they do the ultrasound and everything. They tell me your pregnancy hormones are high enough to where we should be able to see a baby in your uterus, and we don't see anything, so this is another ectopic pregnancy. There's a high possibility that you are having some internal bleeding. I was by myself. I was not about to go through that again, you guys. No way. So what did I do? I left the hospital against medical advice. Do not take this as your sign to do the same if you go through the same experience. No, this is my story. I have my reasons why I did this, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna go through this again. And by myself? No. So I told them I want to leave. They said, well, you're going to have to sign a paper, which I still have, that says I'm leaving against medical advice. In case I die, it's not on them. I went ahead and I signed it, and I left back to my house. When I got to the house, I told my husband what had happened. I'm pretty sure he thought that I was crazy for having left the hospital. So here I am, laying down on the bed, crying my eyes out, because I just got told that this is another ectopic pregnancy and I'm gonna have to have surgery, possibly have another rupture. I've already had one. What are you gonna do? Leave me without the possibility of having any more kids? So I said, I want to get another second opinion. This can't be real. I said, I'm gonna go to another hospital. I'm not gonna tell them anything that they just told me, and I'm just gonna go in there and tell them the same thing that I said when I went to the other one. Just want to make sure everything's okay. I go to this other hospital, which was in a different city from where I had gone to the other one. This is about 2 hours or less from the hospital that I just went to, that they told me was an ectopic pregnancy and I was gonna have to have surgery, to this new hospital that I was now in. Wait, none of them were county hospitals, because I know people are gonna say, well, if you went to a county, no. So at the second hospital I go, I tell them the same thing, run tests again, they do the ultrasound, everything, and they see the baby in the uterus. My son, my only son. Had I stayed there at the first hospital, and had they given me that pill that they give you when you have an ectopic pregnancy for you to like it out or operated, I would have been a guinea pig for whatever the heck, to less than 2 hours later then being able to see the baby. When the doctor told me that, I told him what had just happened. I was crying. I was like a mess. Had I stayed at that first hospital, you know? So to me, that is just one of the times that God has proven his existence in my life. And can nobody tell me otherwise. Nobody.